It's Park Bench Politics. I'm here with my buddy, and we're having a chat today about young people and housing and how difficult it is for them to get a house.
I have very strong views about this. I've got 5 kids, aged from 21 to 39. So I've seen what they've gone through with the housing crisis. Now, they're probably not as badly off as a lot of young people because I've been able to give them good help saving for a deposit. But let's talk about everybody else. One point of view that says, well, young people today, they're not interested in saving for a house. They're having their avocado on toast, buying cocktails for 20 something dollars.
Yeah, because they've lost faith. They've lost faith.
And they're going for a holiday in Bali. Why aren't they saving for a house instead?
Well, because those things are a lot more fun.
Well, we've got no chance. You know, with housing prices the way they are today.
But where are they looking though? I mean, are they looking where you live?
Even if they look a long way from where they work, which means they have to pay a hell of a lot in tolls to drive to work because there's no public transport or whatever. They can move to Glargenbone if you like, but there's no jobs there.
Yeah, right.
So they're stuck.
Yeah.
They've screwed. And they have been screwed by our generation. They've been screwed because we took the goodies.
That's kind of why we're here, though, isn't it? Talking about this stuff.
We gave ourselves capital gains tax discounts, negative gearing. We had our houses years ago. We could gear those up, buy an investment property or 2 investment properties or 3 investment properties, and the government would subsidise it.
Kind of an inverse Robin Hood thing. We're stealing from our kids to feather our own nest.
And then we're blaming the kids for not saving hard. Well, no matter how hard they save, the property prices have been going up faster than what they can save.
They're going to keep going up now that the interest rates are going to be coming down. They're going to go up again.
Exactly.
I think it's about 1/3 of Australians rent, and they'll be stuck as renters forever, and they'll feel dispossessed. They won't feel part of the Australian dream.
The other thing we've done to them is, which I didn't have in my day, I had free university. Now, 1, they start off on low salaries. 2, when their salary gets up a bit, HECS starts coming in and grabbing some off the top. So they're forever fighting against the tide.
So we got a solution for any of this?
Yes, we take a serious look at the property market, and on the demand side, we look at capital gains tax discounts, we look at negative gearing. On the supply side, we have to have a huge increase in the supply of housing.
So let's just unpack both those things. With negative gearing and capital gains tax concessions, no government wants to tackle them because 2/3 of the Australian voting bloc wants their house to increase in value because that's where their wealth is. And when it comes to building houses, everyone talks about the fact that there is no land to build on, at least in Sydney.
It's a big ask, but as John F. Kennedy said, paraphrasing here, think about what you can do for your country, not what your country can do for you. If we can have a change in attitude, so people of our generation say, okay, nobody's talking about taking away what they already have with their negative gearing and capital gains tax discounts. They have that already locked in. But they buy another property, another investment property, that's no longer available to them. Unless it is for building new units, which is encouraging the supply. That's a good thing. But for someone who's buying an investment unit today or an investment house, what they're doing is they're going to the auction for existing houses, and they're going in there and competing with an unfair advantage with government money in their pocket against your young home buyers.
The government money being the capital gains tax exemptions and the negative gearing.
They can afford to buy a place at a loss and have the government subsidise that loss until the property price goes up and they make a profit. And then when they make a profit, the capital gains tax discounts doesn't tax them properly. So blaming the young people for their own problem, I think, is ridiculous. We've created the problem and we're not addressing it because it's in our interest to keep the system the way it is.
Well, it's in the major parties' interest to keep it the way. I mean, but that's why we need another party, a party that's going to get behind those people who feel that, the majors aren't doing it for them. And that's where the good party's all about.
And when you say that there's 2/3 of the people already own their own home, a lot of those have an investment property, so they have a vested interest in keeping it the way it is. If you talk to a lot of people our age, they recognise the problem and they would be willing to say, okay, there's a cut-off point. From now on, if I buy an investment property, I don't get those advantages. I think they would accept that.
So what does the good party want to do?
It wants to increase supply. and it has ideas on how we can increase supply.
Just
And
quickly, I really like the one where they're building over railway lines. That's a great idea.
But the underground one, I think, is just a bridge too far. That's where we jumped the shark, I think.